Yo, what is good, everybody? My name's Coach K, and today we're counting down the top 10 years in North America for new roller coasters. Uh, what I'm doing is counting down the years with the best new roller coasters added to it in just North America. I only include North America just because I'm probably not going to get to Europe to ride a lot of the rides, so I wanted to take into account the ones that I probably will be able to ride. So that's the North America ones. And another thing I do want to say here is that I'm not taking into account the influence that coasters had. So, big example, Millennium Force, the first Giga coaster. A lot of people would consider that year, which was 2000, if you didn't know, to be a huge year just because it influenced a whole new wave of roller coasters. I'm not going to include that idea. I'm just going to talk about what Millennium Force is as a ride rather than the influence that it had. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with our honorable mention list. I have 2007, 2011, 2012. So let's talk about 2007 first. This year's solid edition of Maverick at Cedar Point, Griffin, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Boardwalk Bullet at some park in Texas. I can't remember the park off the top of my head, but Maverick is absolutely an elite coaster. Griffin is an above average coaster, and after that, this year kind of had nothing really going for it, and that's why I didn't have it in my top 10 list. I wish I had one more good coaster, then it would probably scratch the list, but yeah, definitely very close. 2011, Cheetah Hunt, New Texas Giant, Daredevil Dive at Six Flags Over Georgia. Uh, Once again, all good rides, all rides that I enjoy, and I like, but just not any elite coasters in this list. So I just think that this really I couldn't put it into the top 10 just because it didn't have any super elite roller coasters. Um, 2012, Leviathan, Skyrush, and X Flight slash Wild Eagle, or whatever you want to put number three. The thing with this one is that I think you needed a strong number three. X-Flight and Wild Eagle, Mild Eagle, whatever you want to call it, once again, is just not that strong. Skybrush, obviously an elite coaster. Leviathan pushing the edge of an elite coaster. Just that number three. Out of all the ones that I talked about in the honorable mention list, I think this one was the closest. I think 2012 was very close to making it. I just slightly prefer the parks I'm going to talk about next. So, starting off the number 10 spot is 2010. 2010 Solid Edition of Intimidator 305, Intimidator, and Skyrocket. So, all three of these rides are awesome rides. Intimidator 305 is an elite roller coaster. Intimidator pushing the border of elite. I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be elite, but close. It's above average B&M Hyper, in my opinion, and Skyrocket at Kennywood, just another supporting coaster. This was very close for me with 2012, and the reason I had it was just because honestly, Intimidator 305 is better than Leviathan, and Intimidator is not that far behind Skyrush. So I think this top two is slightly better than 2012's top two, and of course, Skyrocket is probably a little better than X Flight and Wild Eagle. But yeah, so 2010 it was a great year. Definitely had some awesome coasters in it. What I think they need is another strong number three to really push it up. Number nine, 2014. This was another awesome year. So we saw the addition of Banshee, the first being an invert to be added for a while. Medusa Steel Coaster, Six Flags Mexico, and Goliath at Six Flags Great America. So all three of these rides are great rides. I don't know if they're necessarily elite. Goliath at Six Flags Great America may be the closest one to being elite coaster, but they're definitely great rides. Any RMC is a great ride. So Medusa Steel Coaster and Goliath having two RMCs in one year cannot hurt you. It definitely helps a lot. And Banshee is also a great ride. It, has great reviews. No one really has anything too bad to say about it. So this year was definitely a good year. Had to throw it on the list. Yeah. Number eight is just a year ago, 2019. Uh, Headed by, of course, Copperhead Strike, Steel Curtain, and Yukon Striker. So you can also throw in there Max Force. I'm not going to consider West Coast Racers to be in this year. I would consider it to be 2020. So just throwing that in there. But yeah, great year. Copperhead Strike, awesome ride. Maybe was a little overhyped. That's why it's not like super popular now, I guess. But yeah, definitely a little overhyped, but still, great ride. Uh, Great reviews on it. Steel Curtain, Kennywood, awesome, awesome ride. Maybe once again a little overhyped going up to it, but yeah, still a great ride. And then of course Yukon Striker, which honestly seems to be an underrated ride in my opinion. Not really talked about too much in the coaster enthusiast industry. I'm a big fan of dive coasters. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about Griffin. I love Griffin. So yeah, Yukon Striker would definitely be a coaster I love. Number 7, 2013. This saw the addition of two more RMCs. We got Iron Rattler, Outlaw Run, and Gatekeeper. So Outlaw Run and Iron Rattler are above average RMCs of just about anyone if you ask them. So Iron Rattler is an awesome ride. Outlaw Run's also an awesome ride, so that's why it's better than the previous one that we talked about in 2014 because it does have those two RMCs that are better than the other two RMCs. But other than that, the reason I can't have it too much higher is just because their third ride is not that good. They got Gatekeeper, and behind that, I would put like Hades 360, the refurbishment. So, yeah, just not that good, but still an awesome year. I wish they had a number 3. Number 6 is 2000. 2000 saw the addition of Millennium Force, Superman the Ride at Six Flags New England, and Superman Ride of Steel at, we'll just say, Six Flags America. These are all amazing, amazing rides. Millennium Force may be a little overrated. Could be a little overrated. Superman Ride of Steel could be a little overrated, but still, these are just amazing rides. Definitely in the elite tier of coasters. Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags America may not be elite, but it's still a great ride to have at number 3. Just looking at this top 3, you may have to consider this to be one of the best years. It's just that after the top 3, you don't really have too much. So I definitely like this ride. I definitely this year, wow. That's why I have number 6. Number 5 is going to be 2016, headed by Lightning Rod, Valravn, and Mako. So Lightning Rod undoubtedly is an elite coaster. Mako is probably an elite coaster as well. Valravn is not, but it's strong. It's a strong supporting one. So that top 3 is amazing for sure. They also have Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom and Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and that's why I really have it at number 5. This top 3 is not near 2000's top 3, but it does have a very strong depth. In the two RMCs that go behind it, Storm Chaser and Joker at Discovery Kingdom. Although those aren't amazing RMCs, they're still great rides. So, you know, that's why I have it here, just because of the sheer depth of their lineup. Number 4, 2020. One thing, not including Jersey Devil in this. I don't know if that changes anyone's opinion, but yeah, Iron Gwazi, Candymonium, and Orion. Iron Gwazi is looking to be one of the best coasters in the world. Undoubtedly elite. Candymonium, elite coaster, great reviews. Orion, elite coaster, awesome giga coaster. Boom. Those top 3 are awesome. So that's what I'm saying. And also, I'm going to consider West Coast Racers to be part of 2020 just because it like opened in this year, but technically, you guys know what I mean, right? So, awesome year. Some great rides. I think this top 3 may be the best top 3 of any year we're going to talk about. Definitely close, but not. I consider it to be the second best top 3 of any year we're going to talk about. So definitely an awesome top 3. Great year. I just wish the coronavirus didn't happen to ruin it. They had Jersey Devil. Maybe it'd be a little higher. Number 3 is 2015 with Fury 325, Twisted Colossus, and Wicked Cyclone. Anyone you ask, you say how they think about Fury 325, you're going to get a great review of it. I would say, obviously, it's an elite coaster, along with those other two there, Twisted Colossus and Wicked Cyclone, both great RMCs. I mean, just a great year. There's no doubt about it. They also, if you want to throw in there as a number 4, Thunderbird at Holiday World. This is another year that you look at the top 3 and you say, wow. But after you go through the top 3, there's just not that many great rides that they added. Thunderbird at Holiday World is number 4, as you just said. So, it kind of falls off a cliff as soon as you pass the top 3. And that's why I don't have it at 2 or 1. If they had a few more good rides, I could definitely do that. Number 2 is 2006. This is definitely interesting just because of how long ago it was. Definitely not near a year, but it's headed by the Voyage, El Toro, and Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. This is the best top 3 of any year, I think, at least, in my opinion. Voyage Probably the best wooden roller coaster in the world, depending on who you ask. El Toro also in that conversation, no doubt about it. Goliath in the conversation for being the best B&M hyper, but with all the new recent ones, you don't really know. There's also some great supporting coasters as well as Patriot at Worlds of Fun and Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I was really debating this being number one or the year that I do have number one at, just because of this top three. But the reason I don't have it in there just because of the depth. I felt like they needed a few new good coasters, and that's what the number one coaster had was depth. 2018 number one, Steel Vengeance, of course, probably the best roller coaster in the world. Twisted Cyclone, Twisted Timbers, and that's just to name a few. He also got Time Traveler, the RMC Raptors, all amazing rides, and there's just so many. The depth is insane, and all these rides are elite tier roller coasters, and that's why I have it 2018 as number one. That's been it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this video. Definitely took me way too long to make, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time.